flash, bright like a roaring fight. Quick touring dreams under stadium lights. Sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Evening sports buffet, with the Ginch replay. Highlights while scores collide. It's the riot live tonight.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a heavyweight
Today here in the Northeast.
Every second pound, it can't wait.
Last week it was in the 70s. Today it was 82-ish, 83. Well, welcome to another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I am said Ginch, Ryan, that's your host. Hopefully coming up at 6:15 or 7:15, sorry, 6:15 Central Time. Chris Knight covers NASCAR. We'll get into all things NASCAR. On the Twitter machine, it's at Nighter01. That's at Nighter, KNIGHTER01. He's an official account NASCAR beat reporter, co-owner at Catch Fence, plus other motorsports endeavors, IG Threads, and SC, the Nighter01. But we are, I don't know, T-minus 25 hours from the Cowboys and the Eagles kicking off to start the 2025 NFL season. Hopefully everybody tuned in to myself and Fuji, as we had our NFL preview special yesterday. Of course, he was a homer. He took the Eagles against the Ravens. Of course, he had his Eagles to repeat. Go figure. I took Cincinnati playing Green Bay in the Super Bowl, and I took Cincinnati. I know people are going to give me flack for it because their defense perhaps sucks, but did anybody see the way the Bengals played the second half of the year last year? I think that little fire under their ass. I think they're out to prove something this year. And are they going to have to outscore opponents? Probably. But the last 10 games of the year last year, Joe Burrow was really your MVP of the season. But again, we're T-minus about 25 hours till kickoff. Of course, they say kickoff is at 8. Of course, when they go through all the bullshit, all the rigmarole, probably really won't kick off till about 8:20. So, some news and notes from around the world in sports today. Unfortunately, after Florida State's big win, it's unfortunate. You don't like to see stuff like this. And I'm just reading off my little prompter here. Florida State University freshman Ethan Pritchard, he is in stable condition after being shot in the head. He was shot in the back of the head Sunday night, his father said, and remains in stable condition in Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. It says here, according to WFTV in Orlando, that he was shot while driving his aunt home from a family gathering in Havana, Florida, which is about 16 miles from Tallahassee near the Georgia state line. This is the kind of shit that you hate to see. Earl Pritchard, his father, said he was actually in the car taking my sister around the corner to her daughter's house to drop her off. They turned the corner, and as soon as they turned the corner, they heard gunshots. Of course, there's an investigation going on for English-speaking friends. I don't know what the gist of everything was. It doesn't say. It's being further investigated, but thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. Hope he can recover. Get back amongst his teammates. It's the kind of stuff you hate to see. Coming from Shams Charania of ESPN. NBA All-Star Game to have 2 U.S. teams, 1 world team. So they continue to tinker with the NBA All-Star game, which is really doesn't really hold a lot of credence anymore, to be quite honest with you. They should just get rid of the Pro Bowl and the NFL. They should get rid of the NBA All-Star game. I don't even like the Major League Baseball All-Star game either because it's all bullshit. Even NHL All-Star weekend. The athletes don't care, not like they used to, when it meant something. It doesn't mean diddly shit anymore. Period. As reported by Shams, the format for the 2026 NBA All-Star Game is likely to be a round-robin tournament consisting of 3 8-player teams, of 2 USA teams, and 1 world team. NBA and Players Union presented the format to the league's competition committee on Wednesday. Governors, team executives, and players discussed the format within the competition committee meeting, and the response was positive, sources say. Dumb, even more dumb. Just like the in-season tournament that they had. It's dumb. Just play the games. If you want to have your little all-star game, have your little all-star game. If they're going to have an NBA All-Star game, go back to the way it used to be. Just have your skills competitions and just have players on the teams that care about being there. It's not like it was even 20 years ago, to be quite honest with you. So whatever this asinine thing is that they've come up with again, whatever. I'm really not feeling it. Some interesting news reported by Baxter Holmes, Espen. The Clippers skirted NBA salary cap with Kawhi Leonard payment. Did you hear about this? Why does this surprise anybody when stuff like this happens? Anywhere. Nothing should shock you when it comes to sports anymore. It just shouldn't. Stuff like this comes out, doesn't shock me. It really doesn't. I'm sure more and more stuff will come out about other teams and their owners doing this. The Clippers and team owner Steve Ballmer reportedly have been accused of circumventing the NBA salary cap by paying $28 million to Kawhi Leonard for a no-show job. This was reported by Pablo Torre, ESPN contributor. NBA spokesman Mike Bass said in a statement that they're aware. The Clippers paid Leonard through a now bankrupt company owned by Ball. Go figure. On his podcast, Pablo Torre finds out. He cited a trove of internal documents from the company Aspiration, which Ballmer partially funded with a $50 million investment through his personal LLC on September 14th, 2021. Just going to read this verbatim. According to Torre, Leonard agreed to a 4-year, $28 million endorsement deal in April 2022 through Ballmer's LLC KL2 Spire. Endorsement deal came nine months after Leonard signed a 4-year, $176.3 million contract to remain with the Clippers, the maximum allowed at the time under the NBA's collective bargaining agreement. The clause in one of the documents purportedly obtained by Torre states that the deal between Aspiration and KL2 Aspire would be voided if Leonard left the Clippers. According to Torre, Leonard also could decline to proceed with any action desired by Aspiration and continue to get paid. An unnamed employee who purportedly worked for Aspiration told Torre that the payment to Leonard was to circumvent the salary cap. Don't know why it surprises anybody. Because it shouldn't. course, the Clippers came out with a statement. Mr. Ballman or the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to aspiration. What the hell are you going to say? You're going to, oh yeah, we did it. They got us. And again, you wonder how much of that takes place throughout the league, throughout any of the leagues. But we'll see. Aaron Rodgers is downplaying facing the Jets. I don't care. Whatever. Smoke your peyote, sit in a dark room, and find your inner chi. I don't care. Patriots owner Robert Kraft says he plans to have a Bill Belichick statue. Maybe they should have one of him on the sidelines yesterday. They got their ass kicked at TCU down there in North Carolina. Hey, why not? There'll be one of him, one of Brady. Who knows? It's just a statue. Look at some other things. Los Angeles Chargers expecting running back Najee Harris to start versus the Chiefs on Friday in Brazil. Again, I'll say this again. Nobody gives a shit about American football in Brazil. NFL. They don't. And if they say they do, they don't. They care about soccer. That's it. Period. Stop playing games in Brazil. Stop playing games overseas, over in London and Germany. They don't care. And I'm sure the players hate it. Players don't want to go to Brazil. Players don't want to go to London. Players don't want to go to Germany. If they want to do that shit, they can do it in the offseason. They don't have to play games there. Knock that stuff off. Amanda Anisimova, she upsets Iga Swiatek to reach her first ever U.S. Open semis. If you remember, she lost to Swiatek in Wimbledon 6-love, 6-love. So a little bit of revenge there. So good for her. Let's do this, since the NFL is starting tomorrow. I didn't see anything major. As per the game tomorrow, Mr. Diggs and Mr. Guyton are set to play versus the Eagles. I don't think it's going to matter much. I think it's a blowout, to be quite honest with you. In that atmosphere, forget it. But that's why they play the games, right? So again, if you want to look at the schedule as Fuji and I did yesterday, Cowboys, Eagles. I have the Eagles winning big. Chiefs, Chargers. I'm not a homer. Everybody knows I like Chiefs. I think the Chargers win. It's going to be close, but I think the Chargers win. Buccaneers, Falcons. I think he and I had the Buccaneers winning. Bengals, Browns, forget it. Bengals will win. Dolphins, Colts. We both agreed last night that the Dolphins will win, but it will be close. And the Colts are favored by 1.5. Somebody knows something that I don't. Just keep that in your Rolodex. Raiders at the Patriots. Patriots. Cardinals at the Saints. Cardinals. Steelers at the Jets. I actually took the Jets. Giants at the Commanders. I think the Commanders win. It might be close. Panthers at the Jaguars. I took the Panthers. Titans at the Broncos. Broncos all day. 49ers at the Seahawks. I don't know why. I just think the Seahawks are going to win. Lions at the Packers. I took the Packers just because it's in Lambeau. Texans at the Rams. So I have the Rams winning. Ravens at the Bills. I have the Bills winning. And the Monday night Vikings Bears. I have the Vikings winning. Shall we go to Major League Baseball? Let's go to Major League Baseball, shall we? I will go to the standings as I always do. Look out, ladies and gentlemen, in the American League East. The Blue Jays are 80 and 59. They're still atop the division. But the Yankees and the Red Sox have closed gap here. They're both only 2.5 games behind. Rays 10.5 back in fourth, and the Orioles 64 and 76. They're 16.5 back. Technically, a lot of these teams are still hoping for a wild card. American League Central, the Detroit Tigers are still on top. They've widened the gap again, even though they're on a slide yet again. 3 and 7 their last 10. They are 81 and 60. Kansas City second, 70 and 68, 9.5 back. The Guardians are 68 and 69 and third. They are 11 back. The Twins, fourth, 62 and 76, 17.5 back. I would like to thank the Chicago White Sox for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season. 51 and 88, 29 games back. Yet they still haven't been eliminated from playoff contention. Out in the West, the Stros on top, 80 and 58. Or I'm sorry, 76 and 63. The Mariners are second, 73 and 66. They're 3 games back. The Rangers are 72 and 69. They're 5 back. They're in third. Minnesota Twins are fourth, 62 and 76, 17.5 back. And the Athletics, 64 and 76, 12.5 back. Dylan Spalding, ladies and gentlemen, checking in. Haven't heard from him in a while. Thanks for tuning in there, Mr. DS, Mr. Spalding, as they said in Caddyshack. Thanks for tuning in. National League East, Philly's still on top, 80 and 58. The Mets are second, 72 and 65. They're 6 back. Marlins are third, 65 and 75. They're 16 back. Braves are 62 and 77, 18.5 back. The Nationals, we'd like to thank them for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season. 56 and 83 in last place. The Milwaukee Brewers on a little bit of a slide here. They're 85 and 54. They lead the Central. The Chicago Cubs are second, 80 and 59. They've cut the lead to 5 games. Reds third, 70 and 69, 15 back. The Cardinals are fourth, 69 and 71, 16.5 back. And my lowly Pittsburgh Pirates, we'd like to thank them for participating in this year's Major League Baseball season, even though they're still alive for a wild card. 62 and 77, 23 back. Out there in the West, looks like it's going to come down to the Dodgers and the Padres. Dodgers on top, 78 and 60. Padres are second, 70 and 64. They're 3 back. The San Francisco Giants, 70 and 69, 8.5 back. They're in third. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they are 70 and 71. They are 9.5 back. They're in fourth. And the Colorado Rockies, 39 and 100, 39.5 back. Only team to have been eliminated from playoff contention. Whoa. Horrible they are. Are they worse than the White Sox from a couple years ago? Even I have no idea. Last year, couldn't tell you. Some news and notes from around the world in Major League Baseball. The Dodgers have nixed Ohtani's pitching start, but he still will DH. Red Sox, let's see. They have placed Roman Anthony on the injured list with an oblique strain. They're saying he's probably going to miss the rest of the season, although they've only stuck him on the 10-day IL. Have to keep an eye on that. What else do we have here? Oh, Framber Valdez's agent has come out and said that misguided to think that he intentionally hit his teammate. I didn't see it. Stuff like this is not news to me when it comes to like any sport. Okay, whatever. He said, she said. There's a little more important things going on in the world. Brewers, Mr. Miller, that would be Shelby Miller. He's gone to the 60-day IL with a sprained elbow. Most part, that's probably going to end the season. So the Brewers are starting to bump into injuries now, which is not good if you're going to make a playoff push. Dylan, did I miss your talk with Chris Knight? I have. I know you have not. He was supposed to come out at 7:15. Going to try and actually text him again. Hopefully everything is okay. Just double checking here. I haven't heard anything. Hopefully he'll pop on. We will see. Scores from yesterday in Major League Baseball. If you missed the action, there weren't that many games. Actually, it was a full slate. I got jumped the gun a day ahead. The Pirates beat the Dodgers 9-7 yesterday. If you need a NASCAR fill-in, I got you. Dylan always has availability, it seems. We'll see if he pops on, Dylan. Let's see. The Mets beat the Tigers yesterday 12-5. Blue Jays over the Reds 12-9. Red Sox over the Guardians 11-7. Nationals over the Marlins 5-2. Rays over the Mariners 6-5. Angels over the Royals 5-1. Cubs over the Braves 4-3. White Sox hammered the Twins 12-3. The Cardinals over the Athletics 2-1. Yankees over the Angels 7-1. Giants over the Rockies 7-4. Orioles over the Padres 6-2. Diamondbacks over the Rangers 5-3. You know, as being a former pitcher in high school, looking at teams and pitchers' ERAs this year, it's pathetic. It's horrible. Something needs to be done. I don't know whether it's technique. I don't know what they're teaching pitchers now. If it has something to do with the pitch clock, I have no idea. Go and take a look at pitchers' ERAs right now across the board. Horrible, horrendous, putrid, stank. It's horrible. I don't know if it's conditioning. I have no idea, but it's bad. When you think about it right now, it's a hitter's league, not a pitcher's league. It's a hitter's league now. On the slate today, another full slate. Earlier today, the Nationals beat the Marlins 10-5. Tigers beat the Mets 6-2. Diamondbacks beat the Rangers 2-zip. Orioles beat the Padres 7-5. Ongoing right now, bottom of the second, the Pirates over the Dodgers 2-0. Top of the third, the Reds over the Blue Jays 5-0. And top of the second, the Guardians hammering the Red Sox 7-0. Later on, Mariners at the Rays, Angels at the Royals, Braves at the Cubs, White Sox at the Twins, Phillies at the Brewers, Athletics at the Cardinals, Yankees at the Stros, Giants at the Rockies. Some NBA news. PJ Washington has agreed to a 4-year, $90 million extension. Good for him. Just trying to see if there's anything outstanding here that I see, and I do not. Other than that, still waiting for Chris Knight. Give me just a second. I am looking to see if he has sent me anything. Actually, he is not coming on. He's not coming on. I forgot. That's my bad. So he will not be coming on to talk NASCAR. He's actually in flight. He's traveling. Let me go to NASCAR. I forgot. I tell you, I just turned 57. Mine's starting to go. They were down there in Darlington. Chase Briscoe dominated the race. I thought the race sucked. To be quite honest with you, with this COT car that they have, you can't pass. You can't pass with it. Maybe on super speedways you can once you get in the draft. But it was a stink show. Let me go to the results of the race. Hopefully your favorite driver did well. Josh Berry was 38th. Cody Ware was 37th. Derek Kraus was 36th. Timmy Hill, 35th. Ty Dillon, 34th. Michael McDowell, 33rd. Shane Van Gisbergen was 32nd. Alex Bowman, 31st. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 30th. Christopher Bell, 29th. Riley Herbst, 28th. Justin Haley was 27th. Todd Gilliland was 26th. Daniel Suarez, 25th. Cole Custer, 24th. Austin Dillon, 23rd. Ty Gibbs, 22nd. William Byron was 21st. Joe Logano, 20th. Kyle Larson was 19th. Ryan Blaney, 18th. Chase Elliott, 17th. 16th was Ryan Preece. 15th was Brad Keselowski. 14th was Noah Gragson. 13th was Zane Smith. Austin Cindric, 12th. Ross Chastain, 11th. Chris Buescher, 10th. Carson Hocevar, 9th. Kyle Busch, 8th. Denny Hamlin, 7th. Bubba Wallace, 6th. Chicken Norman Dinger, 5th. John Hunter Nemechek was 4th. Eric Jones, 3rd. Tyler Reddick, 2nd. Chase Briscoe, numero uno. So after race 1 of the playoff format, Chase Briscoe has punched his ticket to the next round. I'm trying to pull up the current NASCAR playoff standings. Right now, Josh Berry is 16th. Alex Bowman is 15th. Austin Dillon, 14th. Joey Logano, 13th. Shane Van Gisbergen, 12th. Chase Elliott, 11th. Christopher Bell, 10th. Austin Cindric, 9th. Ross Chastain, 8th. Ryan Blaney, 7th. William Byron, 6th. Bubba Wallace, 5th. Tyler Reddick, 4th. Kyle Larson, 3rd. Denny Hamlin, 2nd. Chase Briscoe right now leads your playoff format. Oh, by the way, I hope everybody enjoyed their Labor Day weekend. Let's see what else. I'm going to save all the college football stuff for 8 o'clock for student body rights. Student body right. Now, I know this is going to happen. I'll be going over all the week's action this past weekend. I've got many things to say. In the 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time hour, Griffin McVeigh will be joining. Covers Texas Longhorns football. Everybody saw the Texas Ohio State game, I hope. Look, would you just pump the brakes on Arch Manning a little bit? First true road test. Really, as command of the team offensively, quarterbacks are going to have bad games. People are ready to throw him under the bus. He was overhyped. It's just one game. It's just one game. This would have happened in week 8 when they were 7-0. I still wouldn't throw him under the bus, period. Ohio State coming off a national championship. Lee Corso's last game, headgear pick. I had Texas winning. I was wrong. But it doesn't mean they still can't win the SEC, still get a high, ranking for the college football playoff. It remains to be seen. 1 week does not a season make, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's other teams that played over the weekend. I'm not ready to push the panic button yet, but you might just be a little concerned with certain teams. Let's go to tennis. U.S. Open still going on. And of course, I am looking for my tennis tracker here. Yeah, I don't get into doubles and stuff like that. It's just it would take me forever. So, men's singles later on, number 1 seed Yannick Sinner takes on the 10 seed Lorenzo Musetti. Earlier today, Felix Auger, the 25th seed, beat Alex de Minaur in 4 sets. 4-6, 7-6, 7-5, 7-6. Women's singles, of course, I already mentioned that Amanda Anisimova went through. Just now serving the match between number 11 seed Karolina Muchova and the 23 seed Naomi Osaka. WNBA, give the ladies some love here. I said WNBA. If anybody watched the show last night, technology kinds of tend to shove a red hot poker up my ass. Right now, my Verizon pad's going like haywire. Like when it buffers. I don't like the buffering. I don't like buffering. I don't even like that word, to be quite honest with you. WNBA action tonight. Right now, they just tipped off Sparks at the Dream. Later on, Sun at the Sky. Yesterday's games, the Valkyries beat the Liberty in a big win, 66-58. And the Mercury beat the Fever, 85-79. Standings for the women's. The Minnesota Lynx on top with a 32-8 record. They have clinched the league's best record, by the way. In second, Las Vegas Aces, 26-14. Atlanta Dream, 26-14. Phoenix Mercury, 26-14. They are all 6 back, but they have clinched the playoff berth. New York Liberty, 24-17. They are 8.5 back, but they've clinched the playoff berth. Teams eliminated: the Mystics, Sun, Sky, and Wings. Right now, teams, we got the Storm, the Fever, and the Sparks are right there vying for the last two spots. Let's go to golf, shall we? The men this particular weekend, they're out there in Napa, California at the Silverado Resort North Course for the Pro Core Championship. Just remember, after this particular tournament, then 2 weeks later, it will be the Ryder Cup at the Bethpage Black Course up there in New York. LPGA, the women, as soon as it pops up here. They are at TPC's Riverbend in Maineville, Ohio for the Kroger Queen City Championship presented by PNG. So that's where the women will be. If you're going to tune into the PGA Tour Champions, they are at Sanford International in Minnehaha Country Club in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And if you follow Liv, they're done. You know what I'll do? I'll go over let me go over, excuse me, the English Premier League. If I had 4 or 5 hours to do a show, which I don't, I would try to go through every soccer league, but it's impossible. So I go over the most popular one. It seems to be the English Premier League. So this past weekend's scores. On Saturday in Premier League competition. Chelsea beat Fulham 2-0. Man United over Burnley 3-2. Sunderland over Brentford 2-1. Bournemouth beat Tottenham in a shocker 1-0. Everton beat Wolverhampton 3-2. Leeds and Newcastle 0-0 draw. Then on Sunday, excuse me, Brighton beat Man City in a shocker 2-1. West Ham hammered Nottingham Forest 3-0. Liverpool beating the Arsenal squad 1-0. Crystal Palace beat Villa 3-0. Upcoming fixtures. This particular week's games. On Saturday, September 5th. I'm sorry, September 6th. As soon as it pops up. Actually, I digress. There are no games this weekend because it's all international friendlies. So I was wrong. That's right. They have the international friendlies this weekend. There is no Premier League. Let me just double check this because I want to be sure. Yes, they have the week off because of the friendlies. So I digress. So again, I'm going to say the college football. The 8 o'clock hour. I'm just looking over my ticker to see if there's any other beep, 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 flashing news. Don't see anything. First set, Makova and Osaka are tied at 1 game. So that's going to do it for this edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. Thanks to everybody that tunes in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your representatives, tell the Senate, tell the Congress, tell your local representatives. Spread the word. As I end each show, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody, it might make their day. Or somebody you love them might not get the second opportunity. For God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling, inquire, ask questions. What might be what they're struggling with? What's bothering them? You might just save a life. So, coming up at 8 o'clock, it'll be Student Body Right. Get into all the top 25 action of the weekend. Where does Texas go from here? Where does Clemson go from here? Where does Alabama go? I have a lot to talk about in the 8 to 9 o'clock hour. And again, we will see what Mr. Griffith has to say about the Texas Longhorns. Griffin McVeigh, who covers the Longhorns. So, with all that being said, if I can find it here, and I'm looking for it, and of course, I think the system may have gotten rid of it. No, Dandy Don, take me out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing